Okie dokie, here we are, and it's our number 11 blog post, and today's is all about the power of yet. So I've had a few people comment that perhaps the kids have heard about it in school. Some have, some haven't, but parents and would like a little bit more information, I guess, on it. And some teachers that haven't heard of it, they would like to hear a little more about it as well. So the power of yet, it's pretty big as a concept now. And so if you Googled it, you would see a whole lot of stuff on it. But the basic premise of the power of yet is when we add yet onto a can't statement or sentence, it changes everything. So we'll get into that in a second. But first I want to say that Carol Dweck, she wrote the book Mindset, Psychology of Success. And I guess that kind of brought together this whole concept of growth mindset. So some teachers would have been already doing it, and as humans, some of us would have experienced it growing up as well. So for me, I was already doing growth mindset in the classroom before I realized that it was a thing. I just did it because I probably learnt it, and it was my belief system, and it was how I grew up. So I was already implementing that into classrooms, and I could see the classrooms that I taught in, they were very low socioeconomic, and the kids lacked some of these qualities. So it was always something that I implemented. In fact, it was probably one of the main things that I would implement over time. And so I didn't realize it was even a thing per se. It was just what I was doing. And so Carol Dweck went along, and she did years and years of study, as you have to do at that level, and coined these terms, growth mindset and fixed mindset. And so fixed is where you have no choice. That's the end of the line. And the growth side of things is where you have choices and you're able to make change and grow and learn something. So the power of yet is in her book, and she comments on how that tiny little word can reframe everything. So it reframes your thoughts, it reframes your words, and it reframes the way that you go through life. So there's a whole blog post now by me just based on this. So let's just jump over there for a second and make sure that I touch on all the things I want to talk about. If you haven't read it yet, go into the blog post, and there's a YouTube video, a Sesame Street one, which is awesome. And they do a whole little song around the power of yet. So it's a great one, and you can use that. Watch it with your kids, even if they're a little bit older, right up to tween, they'll still sit through it and watch it with you. And you can ask them some questions about, what do you think of that? And have you learnt that at school? And those sorts of things. And it's a great way to get you into implementing yet into your household or into your classroom. So by watching that video and talking about the concept and asking whether they've experienced that or not before, you can say, hey, you know what? I'd like to be more like this. So what if anytime you hear me say I can't do something, you let me know by saying yet at the end of my sentence. So if you hear me saying I can't cook, you can add yet to the end of the sentence. I can't cook yet. And I'm going to appreciate that you've done that for me. And so I would like to do the same for you. And so it'll be something that you're doing together like a game, and it's a great way to introduce it. So go and head over and watch that Sesame Street video and talk about the concept with your child. Say that you'd like them to hold you accountable for when you're saying can't statements, and you'd like to do the same for them. And it becomes a little game in the house. And it's interesting, because sometimes you'll be saying it and you won't recognize that you have. Okay, so head over, watch that video. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice today. But the basic premise, I guess, of the power of yet is by adding that little word onto the end. So I can't ride a bike, I can't bake a cake, I don't know how to tap dance, or I can't tap dance. You change those to I can't ride a bike yet, I can't bake a cake yet, I don't know how to tap dance yet. So you're changing those can't, don't statements where they're final and conclusive and you have no choice in the matter, to being open and you do have a choice and you are in control of it. So it's going from no control to control, from no choice to choice, from that's the end, it's final, to I can learn and grow this. So that's why we want to add that yet word onto the end. And as I said in the previous one, as they're getting older, you can turn that into how can I? So how can I learn to tap dance? How can I get better at writing? Not quite for the younger kids, but as they start getting older and understanding the concept more, you can rephrase to get them thinking more about how they're going to do it. Okay, so it's really important that we add those in. Changes everything. As you can see, from no choice to choice, from no control to being in control of the situation, it's huge. And it also teaches them that level of perseverance and persistence, the other growth mindset topics that we will and do talk about. The power of yet gives them that ability to persist with something and to persevere. And I don't have it yet, but I'm getting there and getting there and getting there and getting there. And that's how they become successful. So power of yet is huge in that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. But if we're doing it ourselves, if we're modeling that and we're adding that word yet, then it's going to change our results from that fixed mindset towards and into a growth mindset with things. And that's where we want to be getting our kids to go. So teaching them that they can grow, not just with their language, but with the mistakes they made. Like, I'm not there yet, but I'm going to learn and learn and learn and learn. So each mistake is helping them to grow. And it also helps them to believe in themselves, because we've all seen it. You know, how proud are the children when they go from I can't do this to I persevere with something and I can do this. And you see their little faces light up and they do their little happy dance and jump up and down, or some are a bit more reserved, but they, you know, they've always got that little coy smile of like, oh yeah, I did that. Okay, so it's really important that we help them to get there, and that helps them to believe in themselves through that perseverance. And it's all up here. All right, guys, so that's it from me. If you have any questions, I'm losing my voice, so I'm mindful of not staying on too long today. If you have any questions or any comments or any stories about how you've used the power of yet, or how your kids have picked you up, I love reading those, so send those through. You can find us at growkidsminds.com, and we're also on social media at Grow Kids Minds for everything as well. So head over, send us your stories and things like that. They're awesome to read. All right, guys, have a great week. Hopefully my voice is back next time. See you soon. Bye.